Is it time? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. You know what I think it was? We didn't have like that music that we normally have, like that ended, and so people aren't aware. So one last time for the people in the back. Good morning, everyone. Well, welcome everyone to Unity on the Bay. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Juan, and I'm one of the ministers of this amazing spiritual community. We are a positive path for spiritual living. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we gave you some three P's that you could use to describe unity or Unity on the Bay. You guys want to do a little quiz? Is right. If you're watching from home, by the way, you can put it in the comments section. That'll also count. But people in the room, give me one P to describe Unity on the Bay. I love that Reverend Anna, our associate minister, just screamed out fun. P, the letter P. All right, the other P, another P. All right, we are positive, we are practical, and we are progressive. All right, well, we'll work on it. So, quick reminder, while we are gathered here or watching from home, we do have Kids Zone that is taking place for the kids in our community to come together and to also, recognize the power that is within them. So, not only do we send them a nice blessing, but if you have any kids in your household or in your that you're connected with, let them know about our Kids Zone. Let them know about what it's all about. I have to tell you, I've met many Unity on the Bay individuals who grew up in Unity and just tell me what a powerful thing it was for them to be involved in youth and family ministry. So anybody that's interested, you can enroll your child by visiting the Family tab on our website. Now, not only is it a happy Sunday, but happy 4th of July weekend. Happy 4th of July. Now, I really want to just acknowledge that many of you have reached out or mentioned, or I've seen your Facebook posts, where it's like, it feels a little weird, celebrating this July 4th because of things that are happening in our country. And I just want to invite us to recognize that, especially today, after listening to Reverend Anna's talk at the 9:30, and you'll get a chance to hear it today, it really is about a shift in consciousness. And we can celebrate the freedom that we have in this very moment to make that shift. And as we make that shift, our life shifts, our community shifts, and the other thing that I want to invite you to consider is that we have the freedom to go out there and register and vote. So that's something that we can celebrate this 4th of July weekend. And you can actually find information on how to find out whether you're registered to vote and more information and dates and all that stuff by going to our website. Now, as you can tell, well, I'm a pretty excitable kind of guy, but I am very excited to be sharing with you a couple of ways in which we are here to support that shift in consciousness that I'm speaking of. So, drum roll, please. See, didn't that make you more excited to hear the announcements this morning? So, Mark Twain actually once said that some people are troubled by the things in the Bible they can't understand. The things that trouble him, he said, are the things he can understand. So that's one side, right, of it. I have to tell you that I've always felt really supported and encouraged by the Bible itself, right? And I found comfort in it, and I found a way of living. And especially true once I started to recognize it as Unity on the Bay recognizes it, which is metaphysically. What's the story behind it? What's the significance? How are all the characters and situations in the Bible an expression of something that is going on within me? And through that understanding, how are these stories and individuals pointing to the ways in which I and we can live a more prosperous, harmonious, peaceful existence, peaceful life, and be about the manifestation of that Christ presence in the world. Wherever you're at in that spectrum, I really invite you and encourage you to join me at our next Unity University course, which is called Decoding the Bible. And it's for those that love the Bible and just want to get more steeped into it, or those that may have some things to heal, with the Bible. I know the Bible in the past has been used by some individuals for hurt, against people or judgment. But really, it's a wonderful opportunity, this course, to get to know the Bible in a deeper way and recognize that it is speaking directly to us about how we can live the life that we want to live. So I invite you to join me for Decoding the Bible. That starts Monday, July 11th. And it says right here that I'm supposed to promise you that in just 5 classes, you'll start to see the gems of wisdom in the Bible that actually help us. So I guess it's a guarantee or your money back in 5 classes. Go to our website so that you can find out more about it and enroll. Other things that I'm excited about is the power of our community, and that we see and feel when we come together on Sundays, whether you're watching from home or here in the room. But we also feel it in the small ways, the small groups that we are a part of at Unity on the Bay, whether that is a book study club, whether that's a class, whether that's a volunteering opportunity. And you have the opportunity now to register for some of the most powerful groups that we have at Unity on the Bay, which is spirit groups. Now, this is a 7-week in-home study program, although most of them are on Zoom now, where you get to choose the date and the time where you meet with like-minded and like-hearted individuals to go over the pages and your understanding that comes from a particular book that we've chosen. This time around, we have chosen the book Lessons in Truth by Emily Cady. Now, some of you may not realize this, but Lessons in Truth is considered the foundational Unity book. And so if you really want to know what these principles are about, that's the book that we would direct you to. You can find out about Emily Cady's understanding of spirits, about chemicalization, which is that thing that happens with us when we invite a new way of being and new thoughts and new consciousness to happen, and we got to release the old one, and people have found a lot of comfort and peace in learning about chemicalization, and there's just so many different gems in that. Now, Emily Cady, she played a huge role in the advancement of new thought in the late 1800s, especially when it came to the empowerment of women who were often being placed in positions of dependence on men. She really talks about liberation and freedom. How many of you want to experience a greater sense of liberation and freedom, right? So you can check those spirit groups out on our website, and while you're there, you can also find out that not only do we have one book that you can choose from, but we have another one. And this one comes from, recommended by the Racial Justice Ministry, and it's a book called America's Racial Karma, which is written by Zen Buddhist teacher Dr. Larry Ward, and it's a collection of short essays that really invite us to consider the racial constructs that we have lived in and the way in which we can free ourselves from it. Now, that spirit group is being led and facilitated by a Unity minister named Reverend Ogun Holder, who does a lot of anti-racism work. So you can go to our website and find out more about each of those books, sign up for one of those spirit groups, or what the heck, you can sign up for both. Why have to choose? You can be a part of them, but go to our website so you can learn more. Last but not least, I was trying to remember that commercial where it says, remember when, I think it was Rogaine, I'm not only a customer, or I'm not only the president, but I'm a customer. I'm not only sharing with you about the essential oils workshop, but I use them, and I use them as a result of the facilitator, Francesca De Matteis, who is doing a workshop next Sunday at 1 o'clock, so it's Sunday, July 10th, where she's gonna talk about the power of essential oils to basically be a part of the healing that you may want to experience in your life. Physical, emotional, spiritual healing. And not only will you get a lot of that information and check in about that process, but you'll also leave with 2 roller bottles of oils for you. Now, since I talked to her about it, I now have a diffuser in my bedroom that I turn on every single night, and I have to tell you, I sleep much, much better. So make sure that you find out more about that workshop. With that, I think I'm good. Were you just as excited to hear about what's happening in our community as I was about sharing it? Yes. What are the 3 Ps? Positive? Guys, it was 5 minutes ago.
Practical, progressive.
With that, I'm just going to invite Reverend Anna to come up.
Gracias, Juan del Hierro. Thank you so much. And welcome again. to this service, to this day, whether it might be your 10th service or your second or your first. Please know that you're here by divine appointment. Each time we get to come together and speak through truth and worship together is really a divine appointment. We are thrilled to let you know that if one of the first few times that you got a number, you can connect and just ask any questions, and we'll be so thrilled and happy to see you that we will give you a little gift of appreciation. And it's our time to become aware of why we are here and where we're headed. And that's what a mission statement and a vision statement really reminds us. So would you repeat that with me? Let's do the mission first. We are an inclusive community serving as a catalyst for spiritual awakening, evolution, and action. And I have to congratulate this side here because this side was a little, so now you're gonna do the vision with me with power to show them that you got some power too. Together, humanity inspired to its divinity, yes. And now let's take a moment to officially open our service with a prayer, so let us pray. And yes, breathe with me and let it go, whatever that might not allow you to be present. Let it go now. And just let the natural energy of your divine self come forth, reminding you that all is well, that always all is well when we connect with the truth of our being and the truth of life. So we open up fully to what is ours to receive, ours to transform, ours to heal today. In the awareness that God's good, it's always looking to express itself in us, in every area of our lives. God's good. For the good we are always seeking is seeking us. And as we remember that, we smile. As we remember that, we are free. Thank you, God, for our time together and for the wonders that will flow forth for each one of us here, online, and those who will listen at another moment. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Anna. Good morning, Unity on the Bay. Let's welcome to the stage Karina Iglesias.
Feel free to sing along. I was just a young boy, didn't know what I wanted to be.
Didn't know what I wanted to be.
I was every little hungry schoolgirl's proud and joy. and I guess it was enough for me.
Said I guess it was enough for me.
To win the race, a prettier face, brand new clothes, and a big fat place on your rock and roll TV. Oh, but today the way you play the game is not the same, no way. Think I'm gonna get myself happy. I think there's something you should know. I think it's time I told you so. There's something deep inside of me. There's someone else I got to be. Take back your picture in the frame. Don't think that I'll be back again. I just hope you understand. Sometimes the clothes do not make the man. All we have to do now is take these lies and make them true somehow. All we have to see is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me. Yeah, yeah.
Freedom.
I won't let you down. I will not give you up. Have some faith in the sound. It's the one good thing that I got. I won't let you down. So please don't give me up. Some would really, really love to test it out. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Heaven knows we sure had some fun, boy. What a kick, just the buddy and me.
What a kick, just the buddy and me.
Ooh, we had every big shot, good time man on the run, boy. We were living in a fantasy.
We were living in a fantasy.
Oh, we won the race, got out of the place. Went back home, got a brand new base for the boys on MTV. Yeah, but today the way to play the game has got to change, oh yeah. Think I'm gonna get myself happy. Yeah, I think there's something you should know. I think it's time I told you so. There's something deep inside of me. There's someone else I got to be. Take back your picture in the frame. Don't think that I'll be back again. I just hope you understand. Sometimes the clothes do not make the man. All we have to do now is take these lies and make them true somehow. All we have to see is that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me. Yeah, yeah.
Freedom.
Oh,
Freedom.
my freedom. You got to give what you take.
Freedom.
Hold on to my
Freedom.
my freedom. You got to give what you take. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, but it looks like the road to heaven, but it feels like the road to hell. When I knew which side my bread was buttered, I took the knife as well. I'm looking for another picture that everybody's got to tell. But when you shake hands, they know the smiles. Some mistakes will build to last. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's
what you get.
After all this time, I just hope you understand. Sometimes the clothes do not make the man. Just take these lies and make them true somehow. We have to see that I don't belong to you and you don't belong to me. Yeah, yeah.
Freedom.
Hold on to my freedom. Freedom.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Karina, and our music ministry. Love that. All right, now that we have our energy pumping, usually every first Sunday of the month, we not only honor one of the individuals that is making a really big impact in our community as our sacred server of the month, but it's a way for some of you that may not know them to get to know them a little bit more, because I've had the pleasure of knowing her for a few years now. It all started a while back. Some of you may remember that Unity on the Bay, during the beginning of the pandemic, started doing the food share drives with Feeding South Florida. And I remember meeting our sacred server of the month then, and I just remember she would take the more challenging positions, right? Like everybody wanted to be under the tents, myself included, or be the ones to put the food in people's cars. And she was out there in one corner under the sun, just directing people on how they could get served. And that really encapsulates who she is as a sacred server. Now, we've gotten to know her more. She's part of the Unity University courses that we have. She also is now part of the new energy that has come into the Angels Everywhere team and is a part of the backpack drive that all of you are invited to participate in. And she also took on the role of being the council chair to the newest ministry that we created at Unity on the Bay, which is the fellowship ministry. And if you don't know what the fellowship ministry does, they're the ones that just a couple of weekends ago put together an amazing, amazing peace picnic in the park where over 125, maybe 150 people got to celebrate who we are as a spiritual community. So for all these things and so much more, I'm going to invite us to welcome our sacred server of the month, Edith Deek, to read the daily word.
Thank you.
And on behalf of Unity on the Bay, we are gifting her with this beautiful candle that actually says on it, "A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle." And Edith, you continue to light other candles in our community, and we're so blessed by it, so thank you.
Today's daily word is free. Living from my Christ nature sets me free. As a spiritual being, I am always free. I remember it is at those moments I feel at the mercy of an unpredictable world. While I may not be able to control what happens around me, I can take comfort knowing I don't need to. I am free to choose my response, but even more, I am free to meet life from my divinity, the breath of my spiritual power. In prayer, I claim divine ideas. I use my gift of imagination to envision the life I wish to live and the gift of will to make choices to bring it about. I speak affirmations to raise my consciousness and help create conditions for my highest and best outcomes to manifest. I find precious freedom realizing that life doesn't happen to me. Life happens through me. Today's daily word is inspired by John 8, verse 36. So if the Son makes you free, you will be free indeed. Thank you.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too.
Imagine all the people someday you will join us, and the world will be as
And the world will be as one. Imagine all the people living life in peace. So join me at this time of meditation to give this statement true power by allowing ourselves to be that peace that we aspire for in this world. Take a few deep centering breaths. Maybe a time where the body needs to relax some. And the more the body relaxes and the mind quiets, we may notice a sensation of perfect and absolute peace. We all become one body, vibrating in peace. Knowing that as we do, we're making a difference. For always the peace starts in us and becomes real and palpable in the outer. In this 4th of July weekend, we become the peace and the unity that we know that many of us are crying for. Honoring the purity of the Founding Fathers' dream of the land of the free. The pursuit of happiness. And we see it in the foundation of this country and in our own spiritual foundation. So we stand together there to know that it is always possible for this peace and unity to express itself. And we let it be right now, right here. We lower the mind chatter to allow spirit through the center of our hearts in complete freedom to let that essence be and be now. imagine this center here as the biggest beacon of light that blesses the entire city of Miami and expands throughout Florida, throughout the entire country and continent and world. And maybe smile with me at this moment in the awareness that this is not simply a wish or a desire, but it is a truth. That peace and unity will always be greater than violence or separation. That we can always choose it. That we have that freedom to choose. And as we do, we bless the world. At this time, we send a blessing to each person here and those online and those who will listen. And letting our hearts feel what our thoughts could never express. We hold a moment of silence and let peace take over. We are so grateful for this time together and for an opportunity to bless one another and bless our country. God bless America, and God bless you. And so it is. Amen.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Love is but the song we sing, fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains rain or make the angels cry. No, the dove is on the wing and you need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Right now. Some will come and some will go, we will surely pass. Well, the one who left us here returns for us at last. We are but a moment's light, fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. If you hear the song I sing, you must understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, and it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try and love one another right now. Right now. Let's get together, love each other right now. Yeah. Right now, right now, yeah, yeah, yeah. Get together now. Right now, right now, right now.
Wow. Karina and musicians, you are simply awesome. And I feel so honored to be in this platform with this music. Thank you very much. When my now 19-year-old twins, Luke and Lauren, were 2 months old, a minister friend of mine, Unity minister friend of mine, said, I would like to go home to your house and bless your babies. And I said, sure. She came and the family gathered around the crib. They were blissfully sleeping. And she said, what is your intention for these kids? And I said, freedom to be. I remember. At the time, I was very involved in a business career, running a family business to please basically my family and my father. And almost every day having this inner conversation, when will I get to be the spiritual leader that I know it's in my heart to be before I die? Isn't that what we are constantly in strive, in looking for, to express freedom? And it's probably you agree that was the inspiration of our founding fathers when founding this nation 246 years ago. Freedom is the highest human aspiration there is. The dictionary says that it's the power to act, to speak, and to think without any restriction. Spiritually, to me, it means to be so grounded in truth that nothing out there can enslave you. Ellen Grace O'Brien, who is a Kriya Yoga teacher that I follow, I love what she says regarding freedom, is the ability to choose thoughts, speech, and actions that do not bring suffering. In more unity ways or perspective is being so aware of truth and who you are and who God is, that intelligence, that power that is you, and you feel it, you know it in such a way that most of the times you're fearless. And when you're fearless, you're free. So I believe that only within the realm of the spiritual can we really be free. That's why in Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 3:17, it says that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. In unity, we know there's core 5 principles, but the very first one is, to me, foundational in understanding that God is omnipresence, God is good, and therefore the good is always present. It doesn't matter the circumstance or the situation we face, there's good there, because otherwise we would be denying God, right? It's my favorite words from Jesus. It's like, it is the Father's greatest pleasure to give us the kingdom. And we know, foundational, that there's only one way, and love is the way, and love is who we are. So as we know this truth, we are guaranteed of an experience of freedom. And then the challenge becomes, how do I stay there so I can sustain an experience of freedom? And to me, the only way we can do that is really through spiritual practice. Imagine the opposite. Imagine saying God is good sometimes, sporadic. Or that the Father as the source tends to be reluctant about blessing you. Or that fear and not love is the default. And love works, or the power of love, works sometimes, but not every time. And when you hear stuff like this, I don't know if you feel it, it's like, no, I'm not comfortable. It's not true. But I might say, and you might agree with me, that when we are disappointed, when we are doubtful, when we are hopeless, we go there. We question God. We question these principles. With everything that is currently happening in the world or in our own lives, many of us have to admit that we might have fallen into the trap of giving fear power, making that illusion real in our consciousness. So it's been officially like a month that I started here as an associate minister, and the week that I was getting ready to drive down was the week of the 3 mass shootings. At one level, I remember I was so excited to come and be here, be part of the mission and vision that we stated earlier, seeing the magic of divine order expressing my life so beautifully, the way this whole process happened. Connecting with prior 10 years of my life that were so challenging, from getting a serious type of cancer, to relocating to a completely different city, to changing careers, to raising 3 kids, one with special needs, to joining a church that I was in the process of building a new church home, to going through divorce. through starting a Spanish ministry from scratch. And all these things happening, and most important, what was happening in me as I would overcome these challenges, the inner transformation and the stronger call to keep doing this work that I've been, sorry for the redundancy, called to follow years prior. So I'm driving down 95. I make it on May 31st, and Juan del Hierro tells me, June 1st, come to the office. I say, sure, and I'm driving down, and I have my Latin music in the car, and I'm top of the world, seeing the Miami skyline and the sunshine, and remembering prior months, probably like 6 months prior, I was waking up in the middle of the night and with this restlessness, and started meditating and really received this message. You have to keep walking. There's time of rewards coming up. Just keep following and connecting with that. How, wow, this is like the prophecy coming through. And then at the same time, having been exposed earlier to the horrifying news of 19 innocent children being murdered in a mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas. I don't know if it happens to you when you are like seeing how your life is being transformed by your own awakening and transformation, how the principles that we have learned here really work, and how you have power always over your own thinking and your choices. And then being faced with excruciating pain and suffering of others. And what happens to me is that there are times probably that I go into a guilt mode, but then I go, no, it's not about feeling guilty that you have more and other people have less. It's really about recommitting to the work you're doing. And there I find freedom and I find purpose. I actually, Spirit placed this poem that I would like to share with you that probably expresses how I feel in moments like that. It says, whenever I feel helpless in this overwhelming world, I become a helper. Oh, on these days when it feels I have no power, I serve others. You see, whenever I wash the world's feet, my hands immediately stop shaking, and I know peace, and I reclaim my power, and I get back to work. And getting back to work means to really stay firm in truth. We really are not helping by thinking that there is other power than God. What we are really seeing out there is a consciousness of duality and separation, and seeing what it's capable of manifesting. A consciousness that has believed that the illusion of fear and separation is real. Like Reverend Chris was saying last week, there's always something happening out there that feels threatening. This last week was about the overturning of the Roe versus Wade, the ongoing conversations about inflation, climate change, the war in Ukraine, and prior weeks were the mass shootings, which is the one that really, for some reason, hit me the most. And I would like to just explore that for a moment with you so that I think the essence of my message gets carried through this conversation. The shocks are shocking. Guns are the #1 killer of children in the US. More than car accidents, more than cancer. Over the last 2 decades, more school-age children have died from guns than on-duty police officers or active-duty military combined. I went, no, this is not acceptable. This is intolerable and painful. And I don't know if it happens to you, but when I experience pain, I like to seek. I need to find relief. I need to understand. So immediately I went into my analytical mode. What is really happening here? And then I went, well, groups that I want to sustain their liberal access to guns because of the Second Amendment, the politicians who want to perpetuate their power by supporting these groups, the gun manufacturers that are profiting from increasing sales, the citizens who only feel safe if they have a gun with them, and then the mentally ill individuals who are so wounded and lonely and without love in their lives that the only way they have a release is by expressing violence, all leading to the death of the most vulnerable of our society, our children. I'm glad that there was some legislation, big legislation happening recently. And there's a goal where like, we need to be pro-life all the way here. But legislation might not be enough. And it might not be enough if violence is not fully eradicated from us. In my former church, there was this Jewish Buddhist priest. Yeah, nice combination. Andrew Wise, who posted something on Facebook. He says, if we want to stem the violence, we need to find out the root in ourselves. We know that the founding fathers had a great vision for this country as the land of the free. And in many ways, we have accomplished that. And in other ways, we haven't. And all of that is being questioned right now. But isn't the same with us? In many ways, we are free and we are solid in our consciousness of truth. And in other ways, especially when we face the ugly, the unexpected, the difficult, our pain and frustration makes us feel and makes us go into the fear, into the hopelessness, and there we're trapped. And when we're trapped, we're not free anymore. So I told myself, you have to humbly acknowledge where it's in you. And it's really about the power that we give to our ego. And I'm going to speak about my ego. My ego gets attached to money, gets attached to power. My ego stresses out what it's not running the show. My ego hates uncertainty and being in the unknown. It feels insecure when it's not in control or winning. It only feels safe if only certain conditions. And when really, really, really affected, my ego will attack big time. And from that attack, a lot of low emotions like anger will take over. So if I acknowledge that, then the change has to be there. Has to start with me. As it heals me in me, it will heal somehow out there, making me understand that the true gun reform is really a reform, or any other society ill, it's really the reform of consciousness. And from that consciousness reform, we know that the right and perfect outcomes will somehow happen because we are in alignment, right? And we might say, yeah, but it's about taking action. Yes. But years ago, we had a discussion with one of my spiritual dialogue groups, and we're like, yeah, but action, where is that action, social action, aspiration coming from? Is it from anger or from service? There's a quote by Richard Rohr, the Franciscan friar, that says, if we take action on nonviolence without contemplation, there's a danger we'll bring in ego-centered thoughts and unconstructive anger, which could end up doing more harm than good. Therefore, social action, inner action first. We go deep, 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 and the deeper we go, the more we'll be able to reach out, almost in the same proportion. You want to reach out more, go as deep, and you will be shown. But the contemplation part, the inner work, is key. And I believe that as we do this contemplation, we will realize what the Course in Miracles says, that the only problem we really need to solve is our state of separation. That's the only problem we need to solve. And when we do, higher forces are going to take over somehow. But that's where the work is. I love when Reverend Chad Groverland, the leader of the Unity Worldwide Ministries during convention, he said, everything that ails the world today has a spiritual solution. And I agree. You probably agree with me, but love has to be at the core. If you agree with me, and I'm looking at your faces, I think you are, I need you to do this pledge with me this morning. And if you feel like it, bring one of your hands to your heart center. And allow yourself to feel the love that is naturally in there. And know that through that love is how we're going to make all the difference. And then read that on your own first, and then we're going to affirm it together. I commit to the realization that only love is real, and I recognize the ultimate non-existence of anything else. This way, I gain the freedom and the power of a miracle worker, a channel for God in His will that only love prevail. And my friends, this is what we are here at Unity on the Bay, to let love prevail. This is why we have a 5-year plan, a leadership committee, to let love be, to honor our mission of being the catalyst, but in the name of love. When President Biden left the church on that afternoon in Uvalde, a grandmother who had just lost her granddaughter gave him a note, and it read, "Erase the invisible line that is dividing our country. Come up with a solution and fix what's broken, and make the changes that are necessary to prevent this happening again." We now know better. It's not merely in the hands of the president or in the government branches of power. It's in us. So I would like to rephrase these words from this grandmother and address it to me and to each one of you. Erase the line that is dividing you internally. Come up with a commitment to fix what's broken in you, and make the changes necessary to be in the freedom that will allow you to show up as the presence of love, faith, and unity that God needs you to be right here and right now. I would like to close with Nelson Mandela's words. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Namaste.
A beautiful message about freedom and love through the expression of freedom and love that you are, Anna. Thank you. We're so blessed to have you in our spiritual community. And to be reminded that we are the miracle makers, right? That we are the channels of God's love, and that we take that pledge and we live it out moment by moment. So thank you again, Reverend Anna. I want to share with you, not only were we blessed to hear that message and to be in the presence of Reverend Anna, but she brings with her quite a bit of work that she's done in creating a virtual Spanish ministry. And we're continuing to look at the ways in which we're bringing those together, what she's created and what we have at Unity on the Bay, to create something even more powerful as we join energies. And so if you would like to hear the Unity message in Spanish, or if you have friends or family members that you think would love to hear this message in Spanish, we want to let you know that there are big things coming for our Spanish ministry. And today we're announcing that a special event or Sunday celebration called Encuentro Espiritual, which is actually a joining together of Unity on the Bay and Anna's former spiritual community, Unity of the Triangle in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're collaborating together to create this special Sunday celebration in Spanish called Encuentro Espiritual. And today, we start showing it on our YouTube page at 4 p.m. So you can all catch it if you speak Spanish or you don't speak Spanish, but just want to get into the energy of it. As we know, the channel of love has no language barriers, right? But make sure that you tell your friends and your family and check out Unity on the Bay's website and the website in Espanol so that you can learn more. We're really, really excited. With that, we believe in the law of giving and receiving, and we know the power that it has the moment that we open ourselves to God's prosperity and abundance and open ourselves to being the channel of it, as Anna mentioned, so that we can uplift those that are around us. So we're going to give you a few moments to prepare your love offering and give in gratitude. Now, we encourage you to go green, so if you would like, you can just text GIVE to the number that's on the screen. If you're in the room and you want a tithing envelope or a love offering envelope, just raise your hand and one of our ushers, Dennis or Charles, will give you that envelope for you to prepare your giving. With that, we're going to invite you, this is a spiritual practice, to just take a few moments to infuse that giving with your love, with your consciousness, and with this sense of gratitude. Let's do that in the silence for a few moments. And now feel the gratitude from Spirit, from the universe, from Unity on the Bay for your gift as we bless these gifts together. Divine love, that I am, blesses all that I give and all that I receive. And let's continue to bless. Powerful thing that we're doing. Let's bless now our children, those that are in the kids zone, those that we may know that are on their way to be part of our youth and family ministry, and just all the kids that are around the world. Let us, well, especially in light of what has been going on and what Reverend Anna shared about, let's really settle into our hearts and bless all the children around the world together. Children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you, and we see you doing great things. Prayer is the foundation of our community and of Unity, and so I'm going to invite our prayer chaplains that are in the room today to come to the front. If there is anything that you would like a prayer chaplain to hold in consciousness for you, they are here after the service to provide that service and connect with you in that way. If you're watching from home, you can put the prayer intention or request on the comments section, and one of our prayer chaplains will respond to it in the next day or so. With that, I am going to invite Reverend Anna to come up here. While she does, I'm excited. Again, I just keep getting excited, right? But I am excited about next Sunday. I'm going to be speaking, and really, you're writing the message, because what we want to do is have you email me, Juan, at unityonthebay.org. Most of you have been in Miami long enough to know how to spell Juan. But you, just in case, Juan at Unity. You should see like the Valentine's Day cards, how people would write it when I was in elementary school. That was funny. All right, Juan at unityonthebay.org. What we want to know is, are there any Bible passages, Bible stories, individuals in the Bible that you would like to just know more about, that you're perplexed about, anything that you would like to just be highlighted? We're going to basically give you insight into that metaphysical understanding of the Bible next Sunday. And for those of you who are interested, then you can go explore more during the Decoding Bible course. But email me with any of those stories, individuals, or verses that you are puzzled by, and we're going to have a chat about them. So please be a part of that. With that, again, thank you, Reverend Anna, for your support, for your beautiful words.
And for your presence, Juan. I'm honored to be doing this ministry with you.
Yeah.
And so let's all stand and join in our prayer of protection, and let's mean it, because this is a prayer of great power. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is way. Happy 4th of July.